So then, the question you must be asking, when is it that I should be creating figures or tables? For that, I wish to show you four large questions that you should be asking yourself when it comes to the creation of figures or tables. The first question that you should ask is, does your study have comparative data involving variables and samples and groups? If the answer to that question is yes, then you should be considering making figures, and those figures should largely be condensed in the form of graphs and charts and other data representation methods to talk about your findings. The second question, perhaps, you should ask yourself is, does your study have voluminous data that requires very precise reporting? Now, if the voluminous data that you have requires very specific reporting, requires very specific representation of exact figures and numbers that you have acquired through the course of your study, then you should definitely be defaulting to reporting that data in a tabular form, as it allows you to add precise values to as many decimal points as needed. And additionally, you are able to provide any supplemental information on how that table needs to be read, interpreted, and what is the statistical threshold that you have considered for the data to be of significance. The third question, perhaps, that you can talk about or consider is, does your finding or does your study uncover a complex pathway, a process, an assay, or are you talking about a new proposed model? This is something that I was very familiar with and had to be exposed to a lot in the field of molecular biology. When that question, the answer is yes, you should be creating a flowchart, an illustration, a pathway diagram to present the concept intuitively. And examples of the same are visible to you right here, right? So when the pathway is complex, the process that you're providing is new, novel, or is an improvement on what is known earlier, then using a flowchart or an illustration to demonstrate that or to showcase that in a single glance becomes very important. Also, for some of you who are familiar with the concept of the graphical abstract, a flowchart, an illustration, a pathway diagram often helps present the concept intuitively. And that's what a lot of you use for your graphical abstracts when you are submitting manuscripts to journals.